Hello there guys, welcome to one of my live videos, and on this video there is lots to negotiate about. So I am going to be giving you some latest news on Lukaku. Also going to be giving you a bit more additional information on Pogba, and then I will be delving into more topics a bit later on in the video. But we'll start with the news on Lukaku. So according to Ivan Cordoba, who is a former Inter Milan player, he has come out and criticised Manchester United, for not us understanding, the potential of Romelu Lukaku. And he's also suggested that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made a mistake by selling Romelu Lukaku last summer, because Ivan Cordoba has come out and said that Lukaku is an extraordinary player. Now, I've got to say, I think, Lukaku has done very, very well since he joined Inter Milan. Of course, he's played alongside Lautaro Martinez in Inter Milan's team. Now, of course, we did sell Romelu Lukaku last summer. I think, we sold him for like £72 million. So we did actually, recoup the vast majority of the money that we paid for him from Everton back in 2017, because we paid £75 million for him from Everton. Of course, Lukaku did endure 2 years at Manchester United. He scored 42 goals in 96 games for the club in all competitions. And I've got to make an admission, I thought Romelu Lukaku was exceptional in his first season, but, didn't really replicate that in his second season. But in reality, Lukaku had to go in the end because he initially lost his place in the team. And like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer confirmed, his preference was Marcus Rashford in that. So there you go. But like I said, Lukaku's got a good pedigree in the Premier League. Like I said, he did really, really well with my club, Man United. He also did very, very well during his time with Everton. He also played for Chelsea when he was younger. And I think he actually, began his career with Anderlecht, and he made his debut at just the age of 16. And I think he also had a spell with West Brom, did Romelu Lukaku. But I'm reiterating what I mentioned on one of my other videos that I did recently. We did actually, make a mistake by getting rid of Romelu Lukaku. Obviously, now we're looking for an adequate replacement for him because, we didn't get that replacement for Romelu Lukaku last summer. Of course, when we did let him go. We did have strong reservations about Lukaku, his first touch. We had strong reservations about his hold-up play wasn't so good and wasn't so reliable, up front on his own. And he was a big game bottler. But, Lukaku scored at the right moments for Manchester United. But, I'm surprised that we got £72 million for him, to be quite honest with you. But that's the latest news on him. Now, let's delve into the news on Paul Pogba. So I have been reading recent reports, and I think this is stemming from The Sun, the Daily Express, and a couple of other media outlets. They have said Paul Pogba's summer transfer away from Manchester United was agreed. It was arranged and it was agreed. But obviously, due to the coronavirus pandemic, it put Paul Pogba's plans on hold. So he actually, agreed to leave Manchester United before this coronavirus pandemic. But I don't know which team he agreed to join, Paul Pogba. Now, like I've said to you on my recent videos, I definitely think that Paul Pogba is going to be staying at Manchester United next season. Because obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is excited about the prospect of playing Paul Pogba alongside Bruno Fernandes in our midfield. Because they've not had the chance yet, to play together in our midfield of Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. And don't forget, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer told Paul Pogba he wants to make him a key part of the club's future. Now, like I said to you, we need someone to go alongside Bruno Fernandes in our midfield. And I think Paul Pogba would complement him really, really well. Bruno Fernandes and Pogba playing in our team. You'd put Paul Pogba in the number 6 or the number 8. And of course, you'd keep Bruno Fernandes in that advanced role, which is that number 10. But Bruno Fernandes has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. He's got, 3 goals and 4 assists so far for the football club. Don't forget he won Premier League Player of the Month for February, reflecting on his good run of performances. We did pay £65 million for Bruno Fernandes, with add-ons included. So he is on that list as one of our most expensive signings. And Bruno Fernandes, revealed what convinced him to come to Manchester United. And he was reflecting on the attitude of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So Fernandes has got a lot of faith in Solskjaer and that, but definitely has made a difference in the team. And like I said before, Solskjaer signing Bruno Fernandes it saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Manchester United 100%. But I don't know if Paul Pogba's going to be here for the foreseeable future. He could still possibly leave in the summer, but from my own perception, I think he's going to be staying at Manchester United. Now, as you all know, Real Madrid are no longer in for Paul Pogba because Marca recently confirmed, which is a Spanish newspaper, they said Real Madrid are no longer interested in Pogba. The main explanation why they're no longer interested is because of his wages. Because Paul Pogba is on a substantial amount at the football club. He's on like £300,000 a week, so he is one of the highest paid players. And plus Real Madrid have got other midfield targets on their agenda, such as N'Golo Kante and Eduardo Camavinga and that. So Real Madrid are now no longer in for the player. Obviously, last summer, Real Madrid were relentlessly linked with Pogba. Paul Pogba, made the admission last summer saying that he wanted to leave Manchester United because he was seeking for a new challenge and stuff like that. And he even publicly admitted that he wanted to leave the football club. Paul Pogba's preference last summer was to make a move to Real Madrid. But the main explanation why Pogba's move to Real Madrid didn't materialise was reflecting on the substantial amount we put on him, because we said we wanted 180 million and Real Madrid were not willing to meet that valuation for Paul Pogba. And don't forget, we paid £89 million for Pogba, so he is our most expensive signing. Real Madrid, looking to, sign players, when the transfer market does open. They did spend quite a lot of money last summer because they did recruit a good 6 players in, was it? They got likes of Eden Hazard in, they got Luka Jovic in, they got Ferland Mendy, Rodrigo, Eder Militao and that. So there you go. Real Madrid as well are looking to offload players. They're looking to get rid of Bale. Karim Benzema's coming to an end of his career. They're looking to get rid of Dani Ceballos on a permanent transfer. They're also looking to get rid of James Rodriguez. So there you go and that. But yeah, so Real Madrid are now no longer in for him. But Paul Pogba was also talking a lot last year about, playing under Zinedine Zidane's guidance and what a dream it would be. I think Pogba's got a good relationship with Zinedine Zidane. I think also to his agent Mini Raiola's got a good relation with Real Madrid, because he's had quite a few talks with Real Madrid, trying to get his client a transfer away from Man United completed. He's also held some negotiations with Paul Pogba's former club Juventus and that. But there is still actually, some reports coming out saying that, we're open to selling Paul Pogba to Juventus in a swap deal, because, it's confirmed that Juventus are willing to offer up to 3 of their players, to get Paul Pogba in. The players that have been mentioned, is Adrian Rabiot. Aaron Ramsey's been mentioned on quite a few occasions. Matt Easterlick got mentioned around 3 or 4 weeks ago. Milan Panjanic's also been mentioned, and so too as Douglas Costa. But I said to you, if Paul Pogba leaves Manchester United, I think he will make a return back to Juventus, because he did endure 4 good years in Turin. But the vast majority of his performances at Man United since he rejoined have been totally comparison. Don't forget as well, it confirmed that Ed Woodward has lowered Paul Pogba's asking price from £150 million to just £100 million. But I said if we sell him in the summer, we've got to get at least £100 million for him, because it's very imperative that we get more than what we paid for him. Reports were coming out last week saying that we could only get 60 or 70 million pounds for Paul Pogba and stuff like that, so we'd get less than what he's actually worth. Paul Pogba's got exactly now a year left on his Manchester United contract, because don't forget, we did decide not to trigger that 1-year extension on his contract. And like I said, Paul Pogba's only played 8 times this season for the football club. His appearances have been limited due to his injuries. And he gave an interview to the United podcast quite a few weeks ago, did Paul Pogba, talking about, the issues that he's had with injuries and how infuriated he's been. Don't forget, he responded to the criticism that he has been receiving from Graham Souness and Roy Keane. They've been his 2 biggest critics of Keane and Graham Souness. And Paul Pogba responded to the criticism of Graham Souness and that. But like I said, he's only played 8 times this season. He's been out for around 7 or 8 months. Paul Pogba did have the surgery on his ankle back in January. Confirmed the other week that PSG were in for him. I think for PSG to get him, disregarding his swap deal, I think they'd have to sell Mbappe or Neymar, who are the 2 most expensive players in the world. Also, it mentioned that Inter Milan were also in for Pogba. Inter Milan, like I said, have already recruited 3 of our players. And Inter Milan, don't forget, have loaned Icardi out. They've obviously loaned Ivan Perisic out. I think it did say that they're looking to get rid of them on permanent transfers. Don't forget, Icardi's contract has recently been terminated at PSG. Has been recently terminated at PSG because he wants to make a return to Italy, like Mario Icardi's wife did confirm, and maybe Antonio Conte is keen on reuniting with Paul Pogba. I think the best we saw of Paul Pogba, like I mentioned, was in that 3-month period when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager and that. Paul Pogba as well enjoyed a very, very difficult time under the Jose Mourinho era. He's won 2 trophies at the club, and that was the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season at Manchester United. We had him when he was a lot younger, under the Ferguson era. We made a mistake getting rid of him under the Alex Ferguson era, but the main explanation why he left is because his appearances were limited, because we did get Paul Pogba from Lee Harvey. So yes, that's the news on him. His transfer away from Man United was arranged before the coronavirus pandemic. But obviously, it's here now, the coronavirus, so that's what's put his plans on hold. But I think he will be at Manchester United next season. Don't forget, before all the football season was suspended, Solskjaer was convinced that he will remain at Man United next season. Also, too, Pogba admitted himself before Solskjaer said that he wants to stay at the football club. But he aims to be the best player in the world, Paul Pogba, when he does come back. And he has received a hell of a lot of criticism, during his time at Man United. And, some people have advised him to leave the club, to stop all the criticism against him. So, there you go. And so, that's the latest news on Paul Pogba. That's the latest news on Paul Pogba. Now, I want to talk with you a bit about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer are preparing for a busy summer transfer window. Now, as I've said to you, we have got a lot of players on our agenda. And don't forget, Solskjaer still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young British players to Manchester United like he did do last summer. Now, our number one priority targets are Jadon Sancho and Jack Grealish. They're going to cost us combined probably nearly £200 million out of Jack Grealish and Jadon Sancho. So maybe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer believes, we can get the right players into the football club in the summer. Now, Solskjaer's already revealed that he wants to make around 4 signings in the summer, because he believes we need around 4 signings to become title contenders, and he's already identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up. Now, Solskjaer saying we're going to have a busy summer transfer window. This is what he's recently said. But don't forget, he came out, was it a day or two ago, like he updated you, and he said, He's confirmed that we will enter a much changed transfer market. So he expects the summer transfer window to be completely different and that. This is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does expect. Don't forget, he's also said that he's not going to force any of our players to return immediately. Obviously, unless it is safe to do so. You had Ed Woodward coming out the other week, saying that we will not do business as usual in the summer transfer market. But Ed Woodward, he's willing to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, like he's said on numerous occasions this season. And he's also, said quite a few times this season as well that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe. But like I said to you, I think a lot of clubs will enjoy an unprecedented summer transfer window because obviously, a lot of clubs are under financial pressure due to the coronavirus pandemic. And from my own perception, I don't think Manchester United are going to make 4 signings in the summer. I think we're going to make signings. I think maybe we could make 1 or we could make 2, but I don't expect us to make 4. And I think Solskjaer's reliable, to spend money in transfer windows because I think he's done good business so far since he got recommended into the football club. So far Solskjaer's enjoyed 3 transfer windows at Manchester United and obviously, spent £220 million on 5 players. Of course, last summer he recommended Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. And of course, in January, he recommended Bruno Fernandes and Odi Nagalo in. So I've got to credit him, for the signings that he has recommended in so far to the football club. Got to give him a lot of credit for that, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But yeah, so let's see, who we can get in the summer transfer market. Put into the equation as well. Solskjaer's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into the football club. We have let players go on we've let some players go on permanent transfers. We've also loaned some players out. Like I said, we've got Dean Henderson out on loan at the moment. Obviously, Chris Smalling and Marcus Rojo out on loan. But I think we're going to get rid of them on permanent transfers. Obviously, Alexis Sanchez is out on loan at Inter Milan at the moment. The players that we've got rid of permanently, of course, is Ashley Young, Darmian, Herrera, Fellaini, Valencia, Lukaku. So they're the players, that we have got rid of on permanent transfers. Oh yeah, by the way, I think we also did loan Joe Pereira out and that. So it's good that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has revealed his plans for the summer transfer market. I was hearing reports saying that Solskjaer could be given around £274 million to spend in the summer. But but I think he does deserve anyway at least a couple of more transfer windows, because analysing the vast majority of this team, it isn't Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's. It isn't that. But hopefully we can sign Jadon Sancho in the summer transfer market. Now, if recent reports are to be believed, it's looking likely that Jadon Sancho to Manchester United is now off, because Borussia Dortmund do believe that, he will stay at Borussia Dortmund in the summer, Jadon Sancho. Don't forget, it recently said as well, we are planning to sign Jadon Sancho in the summer of 2021. Obviously, Borussia Dortmund have confirmed, that they're not willing to step in Jadon Sancho's way if he does want to leave. But Dortmund do remain ruthless over their valuation, because Dortmund have said they want at least £100 million. Some reports said he could cost up to £120 million. But we've already confirmed that we are not willing to smash our transfer record for Jadon Sancho. We're not willing to do it. I think it said, we're only willing to pay in the £80 million range for him. But we've been relentlessly linked with Jadon Sancho. We was in for him in 2017. This was before he went to Borussia Dortmund. We was in for Jadon Sancho. But obviously, he ended up joining Borussia Dortmund. And now he's into his third season with Borussia Dortmund. And I've got to say, Jadon Sancho has been a revelation since his arrival at Borussia Dortmund. He's got a contract with Dortmund until 2022. Dortmund paid around, was it £7 or £8 million to him from City. So Dortmund selling him, they're going to make a huge profit on the player. And Borussia Dortmund is the third club in his playing career. But I outlined the reasons, what would be beneficial for us to recommend him in. And that would be because he's got a really, really good friendship with Marcus Rashford. And also, too, he is well Premier League proven. The main explanation why he left City is because he didn't get any first team opportunities. Now, obviously, last week as well, it confirmed that Jadon Sancho's preference would be a transfer back home to London, because he began his career in London with Watford, and he was at Watford for several years. So if he wants to go back to London, I think he'd go to Chelsea, Jadon Sancho, because Chelsea are in for Jadon Sancho. I think it still mentions, though, anyway, that Liverpool are in for him. Real Madrid were in for him before. But Sancho did mention if he was to leave Borussia Dortmund, his preference would be a move to Manchester United. Don't forget, we're willing to offer him the number 7. Because we've got number 7 vacant, and, we've had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. There again, though, our recent number 7s haven't been so good. Depay was inconsistent under Van Gaal. Sanchez, was very, very inconsistent. He was the last number 7 we had, was Alexis Sanchez. And, Fabrizio Romano, who's an Italian journalist, he confirmed that Man United have been working on Jadon Sancho's contract for quite some time. We've also been in negotiations with his agent for quite some time. And he did say Manchester City would get around 15% of the transfer fee if Sancho was sold, due to the couple of clauses. But I honestly do believe that Sancho would go really, really well alongside the likes of Greenwood, Rashford and Anthony Martial in our attacking line. And he is predominantly a right winger. And don't forget, Manchester United are in search for a right winger. So let's just put that into the equation. But yeah, so maybe Jadon Sancho will remain loyal to Borussia Dortmund. Could he possibly sign a contract? Because there was reports coming out a couple of weeks ago saying that Borussia Dortmund believe he can sign a new contract and stuff like that. Borussia Dortmund have let quite a few of their players go to the Premier League in recent years. They obviously let Pulisic go to Chelsea, they let Aubameyang go to Arsenal a couple of years ago, they let Mkhitaryan go Dortmund, they let Shinji Kagawa go, they let Ilkay Gundogan go. So there you go. But Borussia Dortmund have had quite a few players on their agenda who could replace Jadon Sancho. So there you go. So there's still uncertainty over his future. Now, Jack Grealish, I think there's actually no chance we could get Jack Grealish. We are hopeful that, we can pay just £50 million for Jack Grealish, and I think he will cost that figure if Aston Villa do get relegated. Grealish will only cost us £50 million. If Villa were to avoid relegation, then probably would cost us around 60 or maybe 70 or maybe even £80 million. Now, Paul Merson, has come out recently and he's 100% sure Grealish will leave Aston Villa if Villa are to be relegated. Even if Villa were to survive relegation, I still don't think it'd be enough to convince Grealish to remain with them, because I think Grealish believes that he's far too good for Aston Villa. And Gabriel Bonner, former Villa player, he actually believes that Grealish will remain loyal to Aston Villa. Now, up until this point, Grealish has spent the entirety of his career with Aston Villa, being a Villa player since the age of 6. Been in their senior squad since 2014, and since then, he has become an integral part of their team, and he has flourished under Dean Smith's guidance. Grealish has got a contract with Aston Villa until 2023. Only 24, predominantly an attacking midfielder, but can also play as a winger as well. I think he's been playing on the left-hand side quite a lot this season, but he is our preference over James Maddison. James Maddison's also been another player on our agenda in that. So Grealish and Sancho are our two main priority targets. So there you go. Obviously, this morning I give you the news, didn't I? Solskjaer has confirmed we have got a fully fit squad ahead of a potential Premier League restart, and reportedly, the season's supposed to be starting sometime next month. I think it will be resuming anyway, will the Premier League season. Obviously, it's been suspended, for a good, is it 7, 8, 9 weeks now? It's been suspended since the 13th of March. Obviously, the Premier League have got plans, obviously controversial plans, because it doesn't mean it's going to happen, but there's obviously been talk saying that games could play for 80 minutes. There's been obviously talk saying that games are going to be played at neutral stadiums. Games are going to be played at neutral stadiums. There's also been talks of 5 substitutes and that, but definitely games will be played behind closed doors, for public health reasons. So it's going to be starting sometime next month. But yeah, we have got a fully fit squad for when the season does resume, which is very, very good news. Also, too, this morning, I give you the news on Joe Rodon, or is it Rodden, from Swansea. The Daily Mirror have reported saying that Manchester United are preparing a move for Joe Rodon. Reportedly, he's going to cost us in the region of around £20 million. It also mentions that Manchester City have expressed their interest in Joe Rodon, because obviously, City themselves are in search for a centre-half, because, City have obviously got Laporte, who's a very good centre-half, but he's been injured. They've got Stones, who's very inconsistent. They've obviously got Otamendi and Fernandinho and that, I think. So City are in search for a centre-half, but so too are Manchester United. And it's actually Ryan Giggs that's advised us, to sign Joe Rodon from Swansea. Ryan Giggs was the one that gave Joe Rodon his international debut last year. And also too, Ryan Giggs played a big part in us getting Daniel James from Swansea last summer. So there you go. Joe Rodon, I think, has done very, very well for Swansea, to be fair. He's been in their senior squad a couple of years now. I think he broke into their senior squad back in 2018, did Joe Rodon, and he's gone on to make 40-odd first-team appearances. He has got a contract with Swansea until 2022. I think he's played 20-odd games this season. He signed his first professional contract, I think, in July 2015, but he came up Swansea's youth academy, and he also had a loan spell with Cheltenham, did Joe Rodon. So if we do sign Joe Rodon, we are planning to obviously get rid of 3 centre-halves, and that's Chris Smalling, Marcus Rojo, and Phil Jones. So that obviously makes room then for Joe Rodon. Yeah, it does. But we've got a lot of centre-halves in the team now. You've got Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof that are our first-choice centre-halves. You've obviously got Bay and Tuanzebe that are our backup centre-halves. You've also got Fosu Mentu that can operate as a centre-half. And there's also been other centre-halves on our agenda. So there you go. And we're also looking to get Odion Ighalo's loan extended as well, because Odion Ighalo did reveal that he wants his loan extended at the football club until the Premier League season is completed. It does remain uncertain at the moment whether we are going to get Odion Ighalo on a permanent transfer. Obviously, we paid around, was it £4 million to get Odion Ighalo on loan. And we are paying a third of his wages, because his wages at Shanghai Shenhua are £300,000 a week. Something like that. And his loan spell at the club expires at the end of this month. And it will cost us around £15 million to get Odion Ighalo on a permanent transfer. But I think he's enjoyed a very good start to his Man United career. 4 goals in 3 starts for the club. And I think he's been a very, very good cover-up to Marcus Rashford as Odion Ighalo. And he is a lifelong Manchester United fan. I think it did say we will not enter negotiation with Shanghai Shenhua until the football season resumes. Something like that. But yeah, it's been a good cover-up to Rashford because, as you all know, Marcus Rashford has been out with a back injury. He's been out with this back injury since January. So he has been a big miss because Rashford's one of our best players, and he was one of our best players earlier on in the season, was Marcus Rashford. But, when the football season does resume, Rashford's going to be back anyway, which is a positive in that. And I think we'll play Rashford out wide when he comes back because he seems to be more effective from that wide position. Obviously, you saw my video that I did yesterday night. I obviously, give you the news on Latorre Martinez. You already know the news regarding him. I also give you the news on Adrien Rabiot because reportedly, Adrien Rabiot could be open to leaving Juventus, and I think he's interested in making a move to Man United. A cheap solution, Adrien Rabiot would only cost us in the £20 million range. This has only been his first season at Juventus. Juventus did get him on a free transfer from PSG last summer. They did. Juventus have got quite a few players on free transfers in recent years. Not only Rabiot, Ramsey and Emre Can from Liverpool, don't forget that. So they have got, quite a few in. But Adrien Rabiot spent the vast majority of his career with PSG. He broke into their first team in 2012 and then went on to win 18 major honours. Very, very good player for PSG, and I think he's predominantly a box-to-box midfielder. It also mentions that Everton have been in for Rabiot. We've been scouting him quite a few times this season, obviously, whilst he's been playing for Juventus. But like I mentioned, he could be part of the deal, of probably going back to Juventus. That's what has been said in the mainstream media and that. So there you go. Like I said, Solskjaer's, he's planning a clear out this summer. He's planning to get rid of around 5 or 6 players. I think he's going to definitely get rid of Jones, Smalling, Rojo, Pereira, Lingard. Pereira and Lingard are definitely 2 players that are going to leave the football club because they are 2 liabilities of Lingard and Andres Pereira. Sanchez will probably go back out on loan because we won't take him back at Man United. We can't get rid of him permanently, reflecting on his substantial wages. Yeah, so we are, going to get rid of players for defo. And like I said, I've taken positives so far from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tenure. Like I said, we are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions. I think Solskjaer's promoted the youth very, very well. I think the likes of Mason Greenwood, Brandon Williams have all been impressive. Tuanzebe was good earlier on in the season. Garner's played well in the games he's played in, but he should get more opportunities next season. Angel Gomez haven't had a perception on him because he's seldom played this season and there has been a lot of uncertainty over his future. So the way Solskjaer's promoted the youth has been absolutely fantastic. He really, really hasn't that. We've had some very, very good results as well under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. We've had some very, very good results. We've had our record against the big 6 sides has been good. We've had some big wins as well. 5-1 against Cardiff, Solskjaer's first ever match as Man United manager. We had 5-0 win against Bruges, 5-0 win against Lask before the football season got suspended, 4-0 win against Chelsea on the opening day of the Premier League season, 4-1 win against Newcastle. But there you go. So these positives to take from his tenure. And Solskjaer has now been here 17 months, almost 17 months. So he has been at the football club over a year, including the 3 months when he was the interim manager. Like I said, Solskjaer is our fourth permanent manager since the Ferguson era. Like I said, it's a transition period, but it's been a transition period for years, let's be honest. But, the managers we've sat since the Ferguson era, of course, we sat David Moyes, we sat Louis van Gaal, and we sat Jose Mourinho. Obviously, we've recruited over 30-odd players in all the managerial eras since Ferguson left, and we spent close to the £1 billion range on players and that. So we have been playing catch-up for the last 6 or 7 years. We've been playing catch-up for the last 6 or 7 years. And, like I said, a lot of players have been recruited in. A hell of a lot of players have been recruited in and that, Obviously, Moyes only recommended 2 in. Van Gaal recommended a lot in, but the vast majority of the players that Van Gaal brought in are no longer here. But he also, again, Van Gaal got rid of a lot of the players that we had under the Ferguson era. Jose Mourinho brought 11 players into the club, and, the vast majority of them players are still here now. I think there's only a few, that have left, who Jose Mourinho recommended into the football club. But we want to get some silverware under Solskjaer. We can win the FA Cup and we can win the Europa League, so that would restore winning mentality, if we could get some silverware on the board under Solskjaer. We've only won 3 trophies since Fergie left, and that was the FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League and League Cup under Jose Mourinho. So there you go. So that's everything to update you with. I will be doing a video later on, guys. So there's your news on Lukaku, there's your news on Pogba, and all the rest of the news. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.